Well, I got a little cocky. Started thinking to myself that I'm going to get a restaurant dinner and a beer and hot shower today. As I came around the north end of Lombok Island, the wind picked up right on the nose, 20 knots right on the nose. I'm pounding directly into it. And the boat crashes down into the trough and comes to a dead stop. I can't power straight into 20 knots of wind and seas, wind waves especially. So I hove to, I fell off, and I'm drifting downwind at 2 knots, the wrong direction. And I don't know how I'm going to recover from this, because you can see the sail hove to up there, the jib. Because this wind has to come down for me to, I've got to get there somehow. And I don't know when or how that's going to be, and now I'm going to be farther away. I'm going drifting away from it faster than I was pounding towards it. What a disaster, man. I can't get there. So now what I'm doing, I hove to for about an hour, more than an hour. But the problem was with that is I was drifting at 2 knots in the opposite direction, the wrong way. So I'm just adding distance to my, to my journey here. I've only got about a quarter tank of diesel left. So the wind started to die a little bit, and I turned around and I started powering back into it slowly. But there's just no way. I'm going, less than a knot and bashing, pounding down and pounding up. And I was taking waves over the bow, washing down the deck. So now my other option is, I'm actually sailing now, but I'm sailing offshore. So I've got the jib out. But just a little bit of it, and then I lash the wheel over into the wind. So the boat tries to head up and tries to tack, but there's not enough speed because just the little jib's out. So it'll just point up and fall off, point up and fall off, point up and fall off. Still doing 2 knots, but I'm doing 2 knots offshore now. If you can see that or not. I'm trying to go down here. I'm 2 knots due north as opposed to going back east, so it's fairly comfortable. If this wind would just die down, problem is, even if the wind dies, it takes some time for the seas to come down. And the wind's not dying enough. Still about 10-12 knots, so what that does is at least keeps these seas up. And I just can't bash into those. It sucks. It's about 4 in the afternoon now. And I'm going to have to spend the night at sea. I got nowhere to go. There's no anchorages. The land's behind me. You can see it there. There's nowhere to anchor along it. And the wind's just sweeping along the coast anyway. So even a roadstead anchorage would be just crap. And there isn't one anyway. The nearest anchorage is where I came from this morning. I left at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. I'm motoring now towards it. The wind has died down a little bit. Still on the nose, but not as strong. The waves are still here. I'm hoping these die down. Problem is now I got a knot of current against me. At least a knot. So I'm struggling to go 2.5 knots here straight into this wind and waves. But sailing north and south, I just kept moving east because of the current. Super frustrating. It's gonna be dark soon, but I'm gonna risk sailing in the dark as long as I can get there, because this wind might come back up. I'm gonna take advantage of it when I can. At 10:30 at night, I finally made it into Medana Bay. I had to use the satellite imagery on my phone or on my tablet to navigate through the reef, and then I just happened to come across a mooring. I could see the boats, but I couldn't see the mooring balls, so I just kind of slowly went up through the mooring field till I came across one and grabbed it. So I made it after all that, thankfully, because man, it was tough. It was really tough to get here. It's haul out day. It's 8 in the morning and I'm just waiting for them to back that lift the trailer down into the water, and then I'm going to head over there. Not my favorite thing in the world to do, but